here at the 2025 Japan Mobility Show, and here in the Mazda booth, there's a lot to be excited about, and it's not just the juicy stuff that you probably think of straight away. Behind me is the Mazda Cross Coupe concept. This, apart from other things, is very exciting because this marks a return of dual rotor rotary engines. Now, of course, this isn't yet a production vehicle, but we have seen that Mazda is actually engaged and committed to exploring a return of rotaries. In Europe, they have MX-30s with single rotor range extenders. There's no actual connection in those between the wheels and the motor, but here this combines with a plug-in hybrid electric drive to give a combined 503 horsepower. Now, details are otherwise pretty scarce, but what they have told us about is the incorporation of this. Now, Mazda, as we know, has not really invested all that much in making worthwhile electric vehicles. The MX-30 was kind of crap, at least as we got it in Canada. 100-kilometer range simply didn't mean much, and we didn't get that rotary range extender like they did elsewhere. So no one bought them, and understandably. Mazda has needed to figure out an alternative, and as a few others have explored, their solution seems to be, how can we reduce carbon or produce fuels that technically emit carbon, but maybe takes them out of the atmosphere in the process of their creation. We have two efforts on display here at the Japan Mobility Show. One, which we can talk about later, is the use of algae to produce synthetic fuel. Now, this is still in its very earliest stages, so we're not going to get too deep into that because it frankly isn't yet efficient or scalable. This, however, is a little bit more practical, and indeed is set to make a motorsport debut fitted to a race car next month. This mobile carbon capture system fits onto the exhaust in whatever vehicle they choose, and it uses some reasonably familiar technology to reduce the overall emissions. In this case, they're using a material called zeolite, which are minerals that exist naturally or can be produced synthetically to very specific tolerances. Fitted here, by pumping exhaust gases through those, the tight latticework structure, precisely sized to be able to capture carbon molecules of just that precise size, enables this system, hypothetically, to catch those, and then by regenerating these, which is done by superheating them, and then it's supposed to be able to clear that and reserve it in a tank here, which can be emptied in ways we haven't yet worked out. And although Mazda is very excited on this because, while that algae technology may still be in its infancy, this is something that is practical, that can be applied in the near term, and by reducing those emissions even on high-revving, exciting sports cars, should conceivably be able to make high-revving, exciting sports cars still emissions compliant and keep us enthusiast drivers on the road at legal speeds. For Driving.ca, I'm Mel Alder.